Okay, right off, I'm going to state this right off. This is an editorial. By editorial, I mean this is my personal opinion. Both the Valley and Beyond and Surreal Vale City are completely neutral. This is not, emphasis, the opinion of either magazine. It is an editorial. Again, the magazines stay neutral and try their best to present only the facts. Sorry for getting loud there, but today's where you kind of have to spell things out. So anyway, I'm human. There are things I believe in on the personal, not professional. There are things I stand for, there are things I stand against violence in all forms, for ending hate, discrimination, prejudice. The examples. Well, again, things have flared up in this country. And by flared up, two people died. This was all over the media, including one graphic image, which I actually reported to Facebook. I'm sure other people did too. And also, the police officers were killed. Okay. The point of this editorial, again, my opinion, not the opinion or statements by either magazine. Recently, I attended a rally for gun safety in Allentown. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the organization did it or anything. No, not my style. But while some of the speakers at number one, oh wow, it's a rally. We're trying to get, I expected the political bullshit part to it, all right? But wow, we're going to have a rally and yet only have certain people speak. We're going to have a rally that politicians are allowed to speak and political candidates are allowed to speak, but yet we're not going to extend this and say, hey, have your average person there. Trust me, when people live in the Lehigh Valley that are victims and survivors of gun violence or their families. No, we're not going to invite those people. We're going to have specific leaders and politicians there. Perfect. No problem with it. Right. And two of the speakers had me so far beyond pissed off it wasn't even funny. Okay? One of them. And please, fact check me with the video in the article. Okay, Rally for Gun Safety in the magazine. It's basically straight through video. Okay? Each person, with one exception, is because I accidentally hit the stop button and immediately hit record again. Each of the speakers had, straight through video, unedited, uncut. So please fact check me with those videos. If I'm wrong, let me know. But anyway, one of the speakers was talking about the Orlando shootings in the nightclub. And basically, well, this wasn't just an attack on the LGBTQ community. This was also an attack on Latinos and blacks. Wow. Great. My flaw with that theory is we're all human beings and people first. Every time a person is killed, whether it's through gun violence, because you take away the guns, people, they're going to find another way to to kill a lot of people in a short period of time. Trust me. It's happened since the beginning, since the dawn of the human race. I hate to tell you. So, anytime a person is killed, anytime a person is murdered, anytime a person commits suicide, anytime a person loses their life at the hands of someone else, it's an attack on the human race. It's an attack on everyone. Not just specific groups of people. Because we're all people, we're all human beings before anything else. We're born, we live, we try our best, we die. So I had to point that out. Okay? Because in my opinion, when you start saying things like that, you're not trying to solve the problem. You're not trying to get people to listen. You're not trying to help out. You're not trying to gain sympathy. You're trying to incite. You're trying to say, well, we want to be treated equally, but you know what? You got to look at it. You have to look at us differently, and we have to be treated better than you. And we expect to be treated better than you. That's what you're saying. See, unfortunately, as strange as, I'm not complaining or anything, but unfortunately, to these events, I never receive an invite for some reason. A lot of people don't. A lot of people that could make a difference and help out are never invited to speak at these events. And a lot of these rallies and stuff, they never open up to the general public to, hey, or have it like a sign-up sheet and say, would you like to speak at these? Which they should have done in Allentown. I mean, Christ, they had the time. They had the time. They dragged it out long enough. Not enough people. All right. So yeah, when you say things like say, well, this is an attack on this group or that group, I got news for you. Drop it. You claim you want to, people claim they want to end hate, they want to end discrimination, they want to end violence. But yet their words say, their actions say something completely different. Second thing. I'll wrap this up. I'll promise to wrap this up. One of our politicians, the Allentown politicians. Not going to say who. Again, fact check me in the video. So, basically, and forgive me, I'm not using his exact words. Things like this don't happen to people like me. Straight Caucasian males. You know what? I haven't liked this guy for a while. Alright? But the fact that I don't like him, and I think he's nothing but a career politician when he cares about himself, and it kind of proves it at times. Just people don't see. He's good at creating the illusions. I mean, and I'm just standing there, and I stood there. And and I'm a professional journalist, so I kept my mouth shut the whole time. Did not hear a word. Only a couple of coughs and me drinking soda in all the videos. But I stood there, and I shook my head and actually stepped back, because it's like, hold it. What do you mean people like you? I'm a straight Caucasian male, and in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the last week of August 2010, I was attacked. I'm the survivor of violent crime. Beaten, threatened with box cutters, and a gun that was supposedly in a duffel bag. What the hell do you mean people like you? And this is what a politician is above the local level, I'll tell you that right now. All right? What the hell are you doing in office, jackass? How could you stand there straight-faced and say something like that? And basically say, I'm better than anybody else. That's my interpretation. Maybe I'm wrong. But it just floored me. An elected official. I mean, people bitch about Trump. You know what? I'd rather stand there and listen to Donald Trump than this guy. Seriously. I would rather stand there and listen to anybody else who I absolutely have zero tolerance for and gets me so white hot that I want to slam my phone into the ground versus listening to him after that statement. The whole point of this editorial is, you know what, we're in 2016. Most of us live in a virtual world now, which is pretty much what it is. Where I'm a Caucasian, you know what? I can go on a new social media website, download any photo I want off the internet, pop it up. This is who I am. Especially if I know the people won't meet me in real life. We live in a world where we're moving towards a global economy, towards in the physical reality, perceived physical reality. We're merging into a global community, a global family, more so than any other point in the history of our species. You know what? And forgive the language here, but drop the fucking labels. People like me don't give a damn if you're black, white, Asian. We don't care. People like myself don't give a damn what your sexual preferences, what your religious preferences, beliefs are. Well, you don't try to force it on us, or constantly throw it up in our face. I don't give a shit. We don't care at all. Don't. It's your life. You live it how you choose. As long as you don't hurt anybody else, we're good. You're good. Drop it. Seriously. You want to people claim they want to end hate, they want to end racism, they want to end prejudice. No, you're not. You want to be treated differently and better than everybody else because something happened to you in your life. Well, I got news for you. You want to know what happened to me in my life? Pneumonia 3 times before I was 3 years old. I had to use a walker, I was told, until 4. My first childhood memory, looking at an oxygen tank when I was a kid, when I was a baby, at my family. Okay? These are the highlights of major things that have happened in my life. Black Friday, 1988, White put my car into a tree, blacked out. Major hospital, couldn't figure out why. Bruised my ribs, shattered 2 glass lenses in my eyes. Okay, and this is just the short version. Was married to the one woman outside of family that dared to take a chance. The only woman so far in my life that dared to take a chance and love me. Best years of my life. She died. Okay. Survivor of suicide where I flatlined because the only thing I could describe when I was out was what the Catholics call purgatory. Survivor of a violent crime. Survivor of living on the street. In 2 states. And that's just what I can remember off the top of my head. And you know what? let's see, have been looked down on, have been bullied as a kid. I had to fight like hell to gain respect as a journalist from people here in Lehigh Valley. And still, I don't have the respect and to the point where I don't give a shit. You know what? Life is both sides and everything in between. Just because something happens to you or a specific type of group you fall into doesn't mean you're targeted. Every human being is targeted by somebody. Especially violent criminals. They don't give a shit. Most of them don't give a shit. Alright? But yet, oh wow, we belong to this group. We have this skin color. We're this ethnicity. And this is what, but yet you're too goddamn cowardly. And you're so fucking afraid to show the other side. You're so goddamn afraid to show the people that help you, to show the people that have no reason to, but are trying to give you that advantage that you claim you don't have. Get the fuck over it. We're all human beings before anything else. Michael Phoenix, member of the human race. Someone who has made a lot of mistakes and screw ups, but still tries to make a difference. Not the founder of 2 online magazines, not an author. But before anything else, I'm a person and I'm a human being. Later.